The future is now. This is the only moment that ever exists. When you take your personal power back and you go, you know what? I'm actually in control of my life. I actually am the creator of my reality.
The Mindspo Podcast.
What do you see with your mind's eye?
Welcome back. Let's elevate. Roll your shoulders up and back. Unclench your jaw. Elongate your spine as you take a deep breath in. And now, exhale. Now take your mind to that person, place, or thing that you have gratitude for and start to feel into the joy available to you at all times. Elevate into a higher vibration as we expand together and dive into this conversation.
Welcome back to the Mindspo Podcast. My name's Rochelle Fox. I am your host. And if you're new here, this is a podcast all about helping you elevate into the version of you that you desire to be. And not just focusing on elevating into your future self, but elevating yourself into becoming the version that you desire to be right here, right now, today. But the more I grow as a human and the more that I exist, I just realize that the future is now. This is the only moment that ever exists. And the last thing I ever want to do is teach you or promote that you have to wait until this time in the future to feel a certain kind of way. It's all about feeling that way now. That's not what this podcast is about today, but that was just what was coming through me as I jumped on the mic. Today, though, it's interesting. I've really been thinking about some of the big shifts that I've had over the last year and the way that I have been thinking differently. Over the last year, I've been constantly thinking about the fact that we are all magnetic, that we are creating our life through our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our actions, who we are being, and the vibration that we are sending out into our field that is then connecting with the greater quantum field. And in this deep dive of this concept of magnetism and being magnetic, something that really kept coming up to me that just really helped me think in such a different way was how often when we talk about magnets, we talk about attracting. We talk about magnetizing, pulling things in. And we're always talking about magnets in this positive sense. And what is quite often forgotten in the conversation around being magnetic and magnetism is that a magnet doesn't just attract. A magnet also repels. And that is the beauty of a magnet. It is this force because not only is it pulling things towards it, but it is also pushing things away from it. And you actually, in order to be a really strong magnetic force, you want to be in that polarization of both pulling things towards you and also pushing things away from you. And so often in this conversation, we're not talking about this concept of repelling. And when I was writing my book, Magnetic, this was something that really, really helped me on multiple fronts. And I really want you to think today and really start to ask yourself, what in your life are you currently repelling that you want to attract? Where are you feeling resistance? Where are you feeling distance and struggle and maybe discord, where you want to feel ease and flow and just like a sense of surrender? Because that right there is often where you'll find that you have unsupportive subconscious programs that are preventing you from getting what it is that you desire. Are you ready to unlock the secret to manifesting? Introducing Magnetic, my debut book that reveals the hidden keys to attracting health, wealth, love, and limitless abundance into your life. Now look, as a Mindspo listener, you already know the power of conscious creation. And now with this book, it is time to take your manifestation powers to the next level by unlocking the secrets of your subconscious mind. Now, for a limited time only, when you pre-order Magnetic, you'll also receive exclusive access to the Magnetic Portal, a sacred space where manifestation meets community. Inside the portal, you'll also discover my secret magnetic podcast series featuring deep dive teachings I have never shared before, revolutionary EFT ceremonies designed to reprogram your subconscious for abundance, guided meditations to amplify your manifestation powers, and exclusive bonuses only available to those who pre-order to accelerate your spiritual journey. These bonuses are only available for a limited time. So click the link below to pre-order Magnetic and unlock instant access to the Magnetic portal and join my growing community of conscious creators just like you, already creating their dream lives. We spend so much time thinking about the attracting piece, especially in the manifestation world. We're always wanting to attract, we're always wanting to call in, we're always wanting to pull things in. But we spend so little time really thinking about, like, where am I finding it difficult? Where am I finding that I am repelling something? Because I think that feels icky for so many people. And it's because of that I feel so often so many people just get stuck in these subconscious programs that don't serve them for so long because they're not wanting to look at the things that they're repelling. They're not wanting to face the music, so to speak, and to honestly just take their personal power back, which in my dictionary, personal power is responsibility, because we all have an issue with the word responsibility. So let's just not use that word anymore. Let's just use the word personal power. When you take your personal power back and you go, you know what, I'm actually in control of my life. I actually am the creator of my reality. I actually do have a say in how things go. And you know what, I might have been running this program that really doesn't serve me and having this negative self-talk and doing this pattern and making the same decisions over and over again because you know what, I find it comfortable. And that's okay. I forgive myself for that. I find it comfortable and it gives me some sense of normality. So I always choose the fuckboy. I always let my bank account go to this low degree because I really feel comfortable spending money on this thing and not taking responsibility for my finances. Or I always just avoid people when we have an argument because actually advocating for myself and speaking my truth, well, that makes me feel uncomfortable. So I just keep doing that program that has been keeping me safe, that has been keeping me in this pattern that feels familiar. So I want you to start thinking about where you are repelling things. Get out of the attraction piece. The attraction piece is great and it's so powerful, but really start to think to yourself, like, where am I repelling things in my life? Where am I pushing things away? Where am I feeling that sense of difficulty? Because that is where you will find the subconscious programs that are not serving you. You do not have to go through every single little tiny detail in your past and dig up every single little trauma and an issue that you had when you were young to figure out your subconscious programs. All you need to do is look at your life now and look at it from a third-party perspective. Look at it with distance. Look at it with love and compassion without getting in your own story, and really look and go, where are we making the same mistake? Where are we doing the thing over and over again? Where do we keep choosing the same path? Because that is where the subconscious program is. And once you find that thing, that pattern, that's when you can go back and be like, well, what does this relate to? How does this relate to my childhood? How does this relate to experiences? And you don't always need to find the absolute root to be able to release it and let it go. Lately, I have let go of so many things. So many patterns that I don't know what the exact root is or what the exact cause was, but I knew the feeling and I knew the self-talk that was coming up and I knew the issues that were arising. So I started EFT tapping on it and I cleared that out. I moved through it. I alchemized it. I allowed myself to speak my fears and I allowed myself to rewrite them and get into that script inside my mind and just really purge that old programming. And I think that so often we stay stuck because we don't look at where we are actually repelling. We are so focused on the attraction piece and, oh, I'm looking to attract this and I'm looking to attract that and this thing and that thing and like attract, manifest. I'm all about manifestation. You guys know that. But if you want to manifest, you got to go into the shadow. You got to go into the stuff that you are actually holding on to, like where you are actually keeping all of this, I'll call it junk, but it's just past patterning, which isn't junk. I got to find a better word for it. But you know what? Junk, baggage, maybe we'll just call it that. All of this past junk and baggage that you're holding on to that is not allowing you to create space for the new. So really, really have a think about this magnetic piece on how you're not just attracting, but you're also repelling. Because some of the stuff that I realized over the last year, I'm like, wow, I am so fucking magnetic as a person. And when you listen to that, you might be like, oh, wow, this girl is so full of her ego. But what I mean is I'm so fucking magnetic because I attract a lot of shit. But oh my God, over the last year, I've realized how many things I have been repelling for years. Writing a book on the subconscious mind and thinking about the subconscious mind for a whole entire year, I'll tell you now, if you ever wanted to dive into the depths of shadow work and purging and letting go and facing your own shit and rewriting your own story and taking a lot of personal power for things that you really just didn't want to take personal power for, yeah, that's what this year has been for me. I'm like, I'm so fucking magnetic because I both attract a lot of things, but I am so repelling. There are so many things that I've desired in my life for quite some time that I have been repelling like you would not believe because I was so focused on the attraction that I wasn't going into the repelling piece. So yeah, that's my download for you today. What are you repelling? Why are you repelling it? Getting into that, starting to uncover those subconscious patterns. And just throughout this whole entire process of taking that personal power back and standing in your personal power, just knowing that you get to create a life. You get to rewrite the script. You're not stuck with whatever it is that you're at right now. You could not stop changing if you tried. You are always in a state of creation and change and shifting, and you can rewire yourself and create a new story and attract something different and have a new experience at any point in life. But you have to decide to do that. And how you can first make that decision is get really honest with yourself. Like, where are you being magnetic as fuck, but in the opposite direction? Because a magnet doesn't just attract, it also repels. And that's what makes it so powerful. In next week's episode, I'm going to be diving deeper into this concept of magnetism and attracting and repelling. And I'm going to really teach you a little bit about how I have been using the power of repelling to actually attract a lot more things in my life. Because yeah, this has been a really, really exciting thing that I've been working on, and something that has kind of changed the reality creation game for me and really helped me just be in a lot more alignment to the person and the life that I want to create and the people that I want in my life. So yeah, that'll be next week's episode. But for now, I am sending you so much love. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for joining me for this episode. You can discover more from Mindspo on Instagram and TikTok by following @Mindspo and myself @Rochelle_Fox. If this episode inspired you, then please pass it on and share the love. And if you're new to our world and you want to elevate your mind and step into your best self, then be sure to download our app, Manifesty, from the App Store and take advantage of the free trial. With Manifesty, you can create your own vision board movies, practice powerful meditations, and set affirmation reminders so your phone supports your journey towards that abundant vision of your future. And lastly, always remember, you create your own reality. So go and make some magic.